There are lots of students asking me if you want to learn PHP, which come first? Are you going to study how to use those database communications from your backend data, or are you going to study first, of course, the basic programming, or maybe you start first with the core functions and the core statements and four methods of the PHP? Well, I would like to say that the latter is quite important. Okay, so let's our start here. What we will do right now is this is very simple. I am doing using, of course, the online editor here to build a PHP program, and of course, the target is to write a PHP program that will use the associate array, okay, and how to use the JSON objects and fetch it inside the, well, of course, the HTML with PHP. Okay. Write a page program will use the associate arrays and how to use the JSON objects and fetch it inside the HTML PHP. Well, if you are familiar about the stateless and of course the stateful type of creating your applications in using your DB, then you can use the stateless by means of your JSON and arrays. If it is a stateful, then you'll be using your just like for example your structured database container, or what we call your MySQL or SQLi. But in this case, well, of course, we study how to use the PHP, how to apply the JSON in your PHP, and at the same time, vice versa, how to fetch it using your JavaScript, using the JavaScript statement, and getting all this information inside the PHP. Let's start here. So we have here. Let's say we start first with the basic HTML, and then this is your PHP statement. Of course, we have to use the title, and we have here the head. Well, of course, head is just like an option where this is where you put your what you call this libraries and frameworks. Okay, let's say we have to use, of course, the JSON data, JSON data. Okay, and then up here, date title. Now, our first target is to use the JSON data, and this, but before that, we need first to review our review first this thing. We need to review, of course, how to use the PHP, what you call this associate arrays. Okay, that is quite very important because every time that you create different types of projects, it's very important that you have the middleware to fetch that information and put that inside your program. Okay, now let's do this here. So let's say we have, of course, the head, and it as rock. Start the code. Okay, so it's body. Okay, and then we have here. Okay, we have here the slash body, and we have the slash HTML. So let us review first how to apply those, you know, um, PHP, what you call this, associate arrays or associative arrays. No, correct me if I'm wrong. It is associative or associate arrays. Okay. Now we will invoke here. Of course, if you're writing PHP program in the PHP, if you're writing a program in your inside HTML with your PHP, you're gonna use, of course, the PHP header. Okay, that's how you use it. So this is how you do it. Okay, you need to place that inside the code, or maybe you could put that at the top of the code. As long as you're using a PHP compiler, and at the same time, if you have your installed SAMP, WAMP, or LAMP in your PC or laptop as your package tool to run your PHP program in your root in your Apache server. So let's, for example, we have your associate array. How to declare the array in PHP? Okay, this is just a quick review, and then we have the variable for array, and then of course we need to use it right here. So this is the array, and of course array can be converted to objects to strings, and then we're gonna call the JavaScript and of course display it. Okay. Now it's, well, of course we're just starting it because I want to answer the questions coming from the users. Then how to apply, of course, the JSON inside your PHP, and of course invoke the JavaScript to to display, of course, the data from your JSON container. Now let's start here. So I have here, of course, the name of array. For example, name is name, and then of course this is the associative array, and then I have here, of course, Arnold. Okay, and then I have here the location, double quotation. That is, well, you can put double quotation or single quotation. Okay, it's still acceptable. And then that is the array. This is what you call the paired data, or what you call the keys and values data right there. All right. So location is, let's say we will put here Miami. All right. So you have only three what you call this paired data here. And then let's end right here. Now, if I want to print this array, it's very simple. I want to print this program. Okay, how to print this program? So we have here question PHP, and we have here post the error program. All right, let's put it right here. So this is your code, and we start here with the open PHP and close PHP right here. Okay. So what happened is, well, of course, we're gonna what you call this display this name here right here. How to display the name? We can use echo, or we can use the print command. So let's say print, then same time we need to incorporate the string r right here, string array, and then we have here r, and then we say, of course, the first index is of course the name, and we're gonna display the name. Okay, let's run the code. Let's see what will happen. So parse error syntax string. Okay, let us check the. I think I missed something right at the top. Okay, HTML file, HTML. What happened? Okay, head, body, PHP. Okay, okay, this is correct. Okay, and I don't know what happened. PHP string array. Okay, let me check that. Okay, there is an error right here. Why? Because we cannot see the exact what you call this color of the PHP, and the period of PHP to the last PHP is wrong. We need to say there is a parse. What's a parse and sucks errors means? Well, there's something a minor errors in the code. Okay, let us submit in. This is the error, and that's there you have it. Now the purpose of print R is this is where we print of course the array and start it with the paired value name is equals to Arnold, and we if you run the program you can see that the output is Arnold. Okay, that's it. So it's running. Now I want you to review this thing because of course the target is to create the JSON data inside our PHP program. And at the same time, well, the part two of this is to fetch the information from the PHP and, of course, use the JavaScript to notify the users if the data is modified or not. Okay, now that's how you do it. Now, what if we print all of this thing? Okay, if you want to print that, well, of course, we can use the loop statement. Okay, how to do that? Okay, this is part of refresher course, and then we have to use the for each loop, and then we need to print, of course, the for each is this is where we get, of course, the source, and pass it to the key, and of course, path is to the value. Okay, now let us do the loop. The command in PHP to start a loop is we have the for, we have the while loop, and well, I suppose that we have the do loop also. Now, how to do that? So we can hit for each, and then start with the target. What's our target is string r, and then after that as, and then string key, and then we have here the associate values for that value. Okay, and then start with the loop here. Okay. Now we can use the echo or print command. Let us use the echo command. Echo. There's no difference between echo and print. Of course, the print is the universal command of the PHP. So echo, and then we can say h2. We can embed also the document object model for your HTML, and then okay, let's say space. I think you understand this. That is where you create the concatenation. It's equivalent to plus for Java programming, and we will use the string key, and then okay, another space right there. Okay, string key. Okay, space. Okay, don't be curious about that. Okay, and then we will use here, of course, the string value. Okay, let us check what will happen, and then we're gonna enclose also the h2. Okay, now, well, of course, here you have it, and then we run the program here. Let us check what will happen. So we will display name Arnold and location. That's the output of this code. Okay, that's the output of this code. Now let us go to our main agenda. Our main agenda is to write a JSON program inside the PHP, and after that we will change, of course, the key of the PHP and the values, or maybe we can change, of course, the value in the key. All right. So let us start it here. Okay, we will use this extra. Now we will erase this first. Okay. Now we have to declare first our what you call this, our PHP program here. This is for declare the objects for JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Okay, JavaScript, and this is very powerful JavaScript object. Sorry about that. And notation. So, meaning to say, well, of course, you can parse your data, and then get the data from your application program interface and of course parse it using the JSON so that you can display it using your PHP, your JavaScript, or your hypertext markup language. Okay. For example, if you have your data stored in your Arduino or Gizduino or Raspberry Pi, and then you likely need to parse this information, then you can use the JSON. Okay. Now let's proceed. So let's say how to declare, of course, the JSON objects. Let's say we have your string, and let's say we have here data 1 equals 2, and then that is how you declare it. You put, of course, the single quotation, and at the same time, then your name. Let's say you have here Arnold, then comma, and then again, you have here, that is what you call this as paired values. And because we have the keys in the values, a database consists of records has paired values, keys and values, right? Location, then let's say we have here Miami, by comma, then after that, well, name, location, and then let's say power. Then power is no, ID code. Then I have here, of course, let's say 34 or 40. Okay, I'll make a string for that. And then what's next? After that, well, of course, you need to close this and then provide a semicolon. This is now your JSON data. We have the objects, of course. This is composed of keys and values. It's okay, data. After that, well, of course, if we want to, let's say, we want to access this JSON data, then we need to use the JSON, decode, to unwrap or to unfold the data. That's the purpose of that, JSON decode. And of course, we have also the methods for JSON encode. What's the purpose of JSON encode? Okay, to update the data. Okay, that's the purpose of that. So, of course, alternative of using the XML is the JSON program. All right. So let us start right here. We need to unfold the data. Our target is to change this this name to something else. Okay, we'll change the name that later on. So if you write that in Python programming, it's quite simple. You have to okay, it's the same thing. You need to use the key and of course update the value. All right, same thing here. So what happened in PHP? What will happen here inside the PHP program? So let's say we need to decode the information. So we say string data JSON, okay, equals to, let's say we have the JSON and we need to decode it, JSON decode. And then what will be the data that we diffuse inside this? So we have to use the string data, and of course we need to use the true. The purpose of to statement is this is where information should be delivered normally so that we can decode the information. Now let us print first the original data of your JSON format. Original data of JSON. So this is the JSON, and then we can embed here. Of course, this is the beauty of the PHP. And then if we want to print that, of course, we can print now the original data of the JSON echo, and then say, well, of course, we can use the h2, and then we will use what? String data. Okay. So this will print all these informations, name, Arnold, locations, and ID code. Okay. Then we have period, and then concatenation, then b h2. Okay. Okay. No more. Now that's it. Let us run the code, and of course we will see that of course we have the decoded program here. Original data of JSON is name, Arnold, location, Miami. Why is that we have the big letter here? Because we embed this h2 in this program. Okay, we embed this in this program. Okay, what happened if we will modify this name and change this to something else? All right, let us go right here, echo. Let us bring the code right at the bottom. So the purpose of this is to bring the cursor in the next line, and then we need to, of course, we need to update this information. So we will use, of course, here the string update JSON equals to, well, of course, we have the update, and then we need to use the JSON that encode what? So we have the string data also, because this is the source, right? This is the source. So what happened if we encode that? Let's say, well, of course, one thing to update is we need to update this data at the top. So what is that? So that is the data one. Let's say we need to update what string. Let's say data, and then we have here name, and then we can change this to, let's say, Robert. Okay, so we we need first to encode, of course, the updated JSON objects in this data. At the same time, this will be a reference to that updated data, and then once we change it here, we can print now the updated program. So let's say echo updated, let's say h3, then updated, sorry, sorry, updated JSON data. So tired. Then we will infuse here, of course, the slash h3. Okay, sorry. Let's say echo. We will put here echo. Let us put some style here. So h3 style equals to, let's say we have here a color, and then we put, of course, red, and then we will invoke here, of course, the string updated JSON format. Look at that. Okay. Then we will what? Close the h3 here. Okay, let us run the program. Okay, I don't know what happened. We have still, okay. What happened right here? I mean, data 2, include data. We have here string data Robert, and then we have period update period. Okay, I don't know what happened here. I think there's a problem right here. Okay, let us run the program again. We want to check what happened. There's something wrong with here. Okay, yes, of course, we have line 47. Okay, I cannot see where's the line 47. Let us check it. Okay. Okay, there's something wrong with this code because what is that indicator if you're using the uh, integrated environment with the automatic, IntelliSense. So the color of this should be in gray color. Let us check it again. So we have here data one, data one. Oops, this is not good. This is data one. And here we use the code so that we can unleash, of course, the original JSON data right here. And then we use the variable update JSON because we want to insert something. And then we call the string data name because our target is, of course, the string data name one. Okay, let us check this one. String data name one. This is string data name one. Okay, name one should be replaced with Robert. And here, well, of course, this is correct, and this one is not correct. So there you have it. Okay, now let us check the program. Okay, from the top, we declare the JSON objects. At the same time, we declare the variable JSON, and then we use the JSON decode method. And then we have stated one, the purpose of the statement. This is where we deliver, of course, the righteous way of reading the information from the JSON data. So the variable of update JSON, this is where we decode the information and unfold, of course, the original data from your data one, and we assign it to JSON. This is how we parse it. Parse means we read information coming from the data, and the update JSON is we need to encode, of course, the data JSON. This is now a reference to this data JSON underscore decode the original file. And then we fetch the information from name one because name one is part of this. This is not name one. Name is part of this. Name is part of this data one object. So we will, of course, replace it with Robert. So after that, we print, of course, the updated JSON program. Let us check what will happen. Now, if this is correct, then automatically we can see that, of course, this is the original JSON. And we have here the updated JSON. So we have here name Arnold and Miami. But again, of course, we're not able to print, of course, the actual JSON program. Okay. Updated JSON should be printed right here. So this name should be Robert, right? So I don't know what happened. This should be Robert at the top. Okay, let us check again. I think there's a problem somewhere here, but of course, if we change that, okay, let us check it again. Of course, it is the original JSON format. At the same time, we decode the JSON, and here we have here data name Robert. I think this is about placement, or yes, I am sorry. This is not data one. Okay, we will have to replace this and put this somewhere else. We'll put this here at the top. Okay, we'll check it at the top right here. So we have to, after the decode, we need to use string JSON. Yes, that's correct because that's reference only to the JSON data for to be encoded. So we have to JSON JSON equals to, let's say, we have to use, let's say, what will happen is we need to string data JSON, and then we have to use JSON. I'm sorry, that is the name. That's it. Okay. This is where we put Robert to replace Arnold. And we have here the updated JSON encode data JSON. So let us check it again here. If we hit the bell, and that's it. Name Robert, location, and we have encoded Robert here. The original JSON is here. Name Arnold, location Miami, ID code 40, and here we of course we replace it with the Robert using the JSON decode at the same time the JSON encode. Remember, JSON decode is to unfold the data so that we can check all the JSON files at the top. And from there, we'll of course we use the data JSON here. Of course, that is the interim where we use the mirror file of this associative arrays so that we can put Robert here in the name value. And then, of course, we need again to update the JSON by using JSON encode so that it will take effect, and then we display the JSON update underscore JSON right here. So that's how you do it. If you if you want to to learn about these things, please don't forget to subscribe in this channel, and at the same time share and like, and thank you so much for watching.